Another night of civil unrest across the country as millions of Americans push back against police brutality, all in the name of George Floyd, the Minneapolis man who was killed while in police custody. Good evening and thank you for joining us for a special edition of 12 News at 6 here in Phoenix. Protesters are gathering at City Hall for a 10th straight night of demonstrations. That's where we find Team 12's Josh Sanders. And Josh, this week's protests were fairly peaceful. So how's the energy out there tonight?
Yeah, Mitch, you said several civil unrest across the country, but here in Phoenix downtown, we're right now in Van Buren, heading towards Central. It's been a peaceful protest, another day of peaceful protests as we've seen throughout the last couple days. This group, the We Rising Project, organizers of this group, are preaching a message of education and voting. They want people here to vote, to really see that systematic change and bring an end to racial injustice. They released earlier a list of demands. They said they're asking city officials, including Phoenix police, to provide de-escalation training to their police force. They want officers to have mandatory community engagement, to actually know the neighborhoods that they are protecting and serving. They want police officers to have mental health check-ins. They want to ban chokeholds. They want a civilian review board to oversee police who have committed crimes, and they want all police officers to wear body cameras. They also want names of police officers that have either killed people or have used lethal force to be put on a public register. You can hear people chanting, "No justice, no peace." Take a look at this sign right here. Ma'am, can we see your sign? Nurses for Black Lives Matter. So this is a very diverse group as well. You're seeing all shades of the rainbow, not just black or brown people, but white people. You're seeing Latins, you're seeing indigenous people, you're seeing the LGBTQ community out here as well. Everyone is coming together. That's something that organizers have echoed, that they've seen, that this is a moment where America as a whole has awakened and they're calling racism out. That's also the message that this group wants to get out, is if you see acts of racism, you can no longer be silent. They say to be silent is to be complicit. Mitch?
Thank you very much, Josh. Right now you're looking at aerial view. This is from Sky 12 right now over this protest. Again, Josh mentioned that it is coming down Van Buren and close to Central Avenue right now. Looks like hundreds of people are out there, and that has been the case now for 10 straight nights. 10 straight nights, rather. Now, what is different about today's protest is that some of the local leaders of this protest movement said Thursday they're going to take this peaceful movement to the suburbs. And today it seems that may be happening. We continue our team coverage with Team 12's Erica Stapleton. She is in Gilbert tonight. And Erica, this is the first protest that we know of there in Gilbert.
Yeah, that's right, Mitch. And as you can see, people actually just started standing still here. They put a pause on the march as they listen to organizers right now. This is the first time we've seen them stop. We started right near the downtown area, near all those restaurants, and they've made their way up Gilbert Road. We're near Warren at this point, that cross section, and you can hear a lot of loud cheering. So we've seen a lot of families, a lot of signs, a lot of different people out here, all in the name of George Floyd. We'd heard his name chanted several times. And again, this is the first point we've seen people pause. We've been told that the marchers are planning to go to the police department, but there might be some people that are turning back around, heading back towards their cars at this point. So we've definitely heard from a lot of people out here. We've actually seen some police too. There's not necessarily a very overt police force out at this point, but we have seen some police officers on bicycles guiding the way. The roads are not closed that we have seen, so people have been walking on the sidewalks up here. And while we talk, let's see if we can talk to a couple of people that came out here to march. I have Jamila, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jamila.
Hi.
You're out here today with some different friends, correct?
I am.
What brought you out?
Honestly, Black Lives Matter. This whole racist thing that's going on is not a good thing. So we want to try to end it and, get some peace going on.
What do you make of all the folks out here today?
What
do you make of everyone out here today?
Honestly, I'm very proud. This was really quick, and for the short period of time that we had and the amount of people that gathered is really good.
And from what we've seen, it's been a lot of peaceful people out here just marching up on the sidewalk. There's been some police officers on bicycles kind of making sure everyone stays safe. So I guess, how would you describe the mood of the crowd?
Honestly, the mood is great. The cops are doing a great job as well, and everything else is just perfect. It's all good.
And, I don't know how many people are here. Definitely a few hundred at this point. We've seen protests throughout downtown Phoenix the past more than a week at this point. This is the first in Gilbert. What do you think it says about the community here?
Honestly, I'm very surprised, and I'm very happy that it happened in Gilbert because I was not expecting it at all. And it says a lot. It says a lot.
Awesome. Well, Jamila, thank you guys. Please stay safe. And yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on everything that's going on here. So how about you folks? What brought you guys out here today?
Honestly, just to support our community and let everybody know the injustices that are happening.
And what are some of the things you've been seeing out here?
Just a lot of support and just people coming together to talk about what's going on that really just isn't right.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for talking with us. And again, we've been seeing a lot of people out here. It looks like they might be getting ready to speak at this point in time. We've definitely heard some chanting. So we're kind of keeping an eye on everything out here in Gilbert. But for right now, just to give you a quick recap, we started near the restaurants, have been marching with, again, a few hundred folks by my estimate at this point. And they've just paused here. We're near actually a QuickTime gas station and the Lowe's, if you guys know where that is. We're near Warner Road off of Gilbert Road. So this is a scene right now. And again, very peaceful that we've seen. We've seen some police officers on bikes, no confrontations at this point in time. So we'll be keeping an eye on everything out here. I'll send it back to you guys for now.
Thank you, Erica. We'll check back in a little bit later. As you heard Erica mention, no confrontations today, but it was a very different scene last Saturday night in Scottsdale, and more arrests were made for the looting that we saw at Scottsdale Fashion Square last weekend. 6 more people have been arrested in connection to the looting, including these 2 men, 29-year-old Ramon Taylor on the left and 20-year-old Nathaniel Bailey on the right. Scottsdale police say Taylor stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. Bailey is accused of smashing a Mercedes that was on display inside the mall. Officers say Bailey posted a video of the vandalism on social media. In total, 26 people have been arrested from the riots and the looting. This protest is happening just a few hours before the statewide curfew takes effect. Under Governor Ducey's guidelines, you must stay home from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. until the curfew expires Monday. You can still travel to and from work during this time, and you're also allowed to be out if you are caring for family, friends, or animals, or if you're patronizing a private business. So yes, if you're hungry, you can order food and you can pick it up. There are many other aspects involved here. We've got a full breakdown of the rules on our website. That, of course, is 12news.com. People in North Carolina took a break from the protest to show support for the Floyd family today. Floyd was born in Rayford, and that's about 90 miles to the southwest of Raleigh. His family held a memorial for Floyd in a small church there today. Thousands of people showed up to pay their respects. This is Floyd's second memorial service. The first was held in Minneapolis this past Thursday. Another memorial is scheduled for next week in Houston, where Floyd will be buried. New at 6 now, 2 police officers in Buffalo are facing assault charges tonight after a video shows them shoving a 75-year-old man during a protest this week. We do want to warn you that some viewers may find this video disturbing. You can see the man walk up to the Buffalo police officers while their line is moving forward. He appears to be speaking with the officers when one officer pushes him back. He stumbles, falls to the ground, and hits his head. We're told he's in stable condition tonight, but officers appeared in court today and pleaded not guilty to second-degree assault. The 2 are now suspended on leave with pay, and in response to the punishment for what you see in this video, the entire police tactical team involved in the incident, 57 officers, resigned from that tactical unit. They're still employed as police officers, but they are no longer part of that unit. And lack of trust between members of the community and police goes back decades. Team 12's Caribe Divine spoke with a retired member of the Phoenix Police Department who served as an officer and an assistant chief. He says officers still have a long way to go to gain the trust of the community, but with the right plan, it can get better.
I remember Mark when he was a brand new police officer.
Kevin Robinson, who served 36 years with the Phoenix Police Department, reacting to Twitter video showing Lieutenant Mark Schweikert handing out water to protesters last night.
You know, that is indicative of the type of person that he is.
And he says there are more officers just like Schweikert.
What it means to be a police officer is to dedicate yourself, your career, to taking care of others.
Robinson, like most law enforcement, was appalled by the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. Robinson says some agents agencies have a culture of not speaking up when they see wrong like this.
Those other 3 officers all had a responsibility, and they failed. They should have spoken up. They should have stopped it. They should have done something.
Robinson says departments need to have strong rules and standards in place within their own ranks.
It has to be enforced. It has to be enforced uniformly across the organization, and everyone has to abide by those standards.
One thing that has changed, more officers and chiefs around the country are publicly speaking out against the Minneapolis officers, and more videos of police trying to engage the protesters peacefully.
There we go.
It's going to take a while. Kneeling and showing empathy in some cases will not be enough. But what will be enough is sustained relationships that demonstrate a willingness to move forward, to get along, and to listen.
Robinson applauds the firing of the Minneapolis officers and says it sends the message throughout the department that those actions are not acceptable. We're tracking several fires burning in Arizona right now. The biggest fire is burning 25,000 acres in the Superstition Mountains, but fire crews are making progress. Arizona State Forestry officials say the Sawtooth fire is nearly 60% contained. Isolated rain showers moved through the area and offered some help to crews on the ground, but crews are still cautious of the extremely dry conditions. Several other small fires are burning in the state right now, and it's important to note that as of now, none of these fires are threatening homes or buildings. But part of I-17 is closed due to a fire burning a few miles north of Camp Verde. The freeway is shut down in both directions as crews work to contain the fire. Right now, ADOT estimates about an 8-mile backup, so if you have driving plans in that area, you're encouraged to reroute. North of Oro Valley, crews are battling a 650-acre brush fire burning in the Tortolita Mountains. No structures are threatened, but rugged terrain is posing a problem. High winds and dry conditions are tonight's biggest challenges for first responders on the front lines. Meteorologist Jamie Cagle joins us in the studio tonight. And Jamie, the temperatures come down a bit, but the wind has picked up a bit. What can crews expect this evening?
Well, they can expect the winds to die down later this evening, but right now still dealing with some windy conditions, and we're talking primarily the high country to the north as well as to the east. A red flag warning you can see for the northeast corner of the state is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Wind advisory up into parts of Mojave County, winds of 25 to 35, gusting to 45. That as well, 8 o'clock this evening. 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you can expect these winds to come down, but you can see upwards of 10 to 30 mile per hour winds. When we look to the northeast and the northwest part of the state, the wind gusts will take it higher from time to time. And we're not done with the winds yet. We will have a red flag warning in place for tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Those winds 20 to 30 easily, gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. So that fire weather threat will continue tomorrow. And again, with very extreme wind conditions. It's not the temperatures that are extreme. Take a look at this. We're in the 90s. In fact, at 90 in Phoenix right now. And for the high country, plenty of 70s. Winds low at 80 degrees, but Payson, you're at 75. Prescott, 72. And along the Colorado, Parker at 87 right now. Lake Havasu City at 90 degrees. These are very nice temperatures. They're actually below average for this time of year. And here's the 24-hour temperature trend. You're talking a good 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. This is a very nice treat for us in the weather. And for this evening, the numbers will be dropping into the 80s shortly. We're going to stay under clear skies. We have a little bit of a light breeze out there for the evening hours. For the high country, it's still breezy tonight, but your winds are coming down that sunset. It'll be at 7:36. Now, this little treat to cool weather is rather short-lived. I'll let you know when we see the triple digits return. That'll be coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll see you in just a few. There have been more than 400 wildfires in Arizona already this year. According to the Southwest Coordination Center, almost all of these were human-caused. The destruction from these fires can be catastrophic. Team 12's Mark Curtis has some tips on how you can help prevent the next wildfire from happening.
Here's what the Arizona State Forestry Department wants you to keep in mind. And a lot of this stuff you already know, but it's worth repeating. First, make sure that your campfire is fully out by dousing it with water until it's cool to the touch. If you're burning debris, make sure you use a designated burn barrel and never leave the fire unattended. And if you're planning on spending some time outside, remember that fireworks and target practice are never allowed on state land.
Use caution and know before you go if you're heading out the door to do some sort of recreating.
Forestry officials also want to stress the importance of practicing fire safety when you're driving. For example, never throw a cigarette butt out of the window. And if you're pulling a trailer, make sure you tighten up the chains so they don't drag and cause a spark.
We're asking folks when they're towing vehicles to make sure they take a few extra minutes to make sure those tow chains are secure. A lot of our roadside fires are caused by dragging chains.
And the biggest tip that forestry officials have is for homeowners. Clear your property. Removing pine needles, dry leaves, and other brush from your roof, gutters, and deck can make a big difference, not only for you, but for everyone.
Preparing for a wildfire today, you're just buying yourself that much more time. You're buying first responders more time to get to your house and be able to effectively respond.
Now to the latest developments surrounding the statewide coronavirus outbreak. The Arizona Department of Health Services is reporting more than 25,000 confirmed cases, and that is 1,100 more cases than were reported yesterday. There are also 30 more deaths, and that pushes the statewide total over 1,000. The rising numbers have brought about a dire warning from Arizona's largest healthcare system. Banner Health says the trend of COVID-19 hospitalizations rapidly rising is something we should be concerned about. They've seen a sharp increase in the number of very sick patients coming in, and as a result, Banner says they are approaching capacity for their ICU beds. Soon, they're going to have to shift patients around.
I don't have a crystal ball, and we all know that the modeling around what this pandemic looks like is very difficult because we have not been in a COVID-19 pandemic before. What I do know is that if you continue to follow a curve like that, at some point, we will exceed our capacity.
Banner Health says they are most concerned about the large number of COVID-19 patients on ventilators, 116 of them alone in the Banner system as of yesterday. Right now, that is about 50% of their capacity. They're concerned that if people do not start wearing masks now, that when flu season hits in the fall, they will be overrun with patients. And in order to get a handle on the virus, who has it, whom they may have spread it to, Sonora Quest offered testing today at Steele Indian School Park. It was as easy as driving up or even walking up and getting a nasal swab. We contacted Sonora Quest to ask how many folks got tested today, but we did not get a response. So far, more than 380,000 Arizonans have been tested, according to the Department of Health Services. As the positive test numbers go up, the way to stay safe from this virus remains the same.
Our positivity rate since the governor has opened up the state has increased, but we're also testing more people. So it's really important just to wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing.
And if you want to get tested, you'll need to bring your insurance information. If you don't have insurance, you'll be covered by the CARES Act. Either way, according to Sonora Quest, there should be no out-of-pocket costs. A Phoenix dance studio is slowly reopening its doors after being shut down for weeks because of coronavirus. Team 12's Jen Wall tells us what extra steps they're taking to keep moving.
In like Flynn.
When something is broken,
Roger, Dodger.
Terry Schmoyer fixes it.
All right, almost ready to come down.
So when the coronavirus outbreak forced his dance studio and main source of income to bend.
We had to flat out shut down, and it just keeps adding up.
He went to work.
This has been helping me extremely pay the bills compared to what I had coming in before, which was nothing.
Yes, 1, 2.
Before Terry owned and operated Fat Cat Ballroom in Phoenix.
Q, point.
Back in the late 80s, he was a mechanic.
I got to be a certified Dodge technician, got bored. So then I jumped over to Chevy, got to be a master Chevy tech, got bored. Went to Ford, got to be a master Ford tech, got bored. You won't.
His skills coming in handy today, now fixing cars behind his studio to help pay rent.
Whether you can help donate any money to the studio to help me stay afloat, or if you don't have any money at all, I'll still work with you on your car.
Yes. Same thing.
As of June 1st, Terry has been welcoming dancers back into his studio.
It sure did affect us a lot. You know, we were used to teaching like 5 or 6 days a week.
Half of them don't want to. They're still a little, they want to take it easy. And the other half really want to get back out there. They want to start living again.
1, 2. Yes.
The music playing again, pandemic precautions in place.
And we allow them to stay separate and we keep their room and their space.
While his industry has been hit exceptionally hard, Terry won't allow fat cats to break.
This is better than anything in the world.
In his toolbox, there's always a fix to keep the engine running and lights on.
And you leave and you go home and you're happy. And the world's different again.
Jen Wall, 12 News.
You can always find the latest information about the coronavirus and how it's affecting Arizona with our daily blog on the 12 News app. Let's get you up to speed on some of tonight's other stories now. We have new information about the SUV that crashed into a Valley restaurant. Scottsdale police tell us the driver is being charged with aggravated assault. Officers say 52-year-old Alami Hussein crashed into DJ's Bar and Grill around 7:30 Thursday night. Witnesses told officers 2 women on the sidewalk were hit. One had serious injuries, the other is still fighting for her life. Police say Hussein was not impaired, and they are still investigating exactly what led up to the crash. Did you feel it? The USGS recorded a 2.5 magnitude earthquake about 5 miles northwest of New River near Lake Pleasant. This happened around 6:30 this morning. If you didn't notice any rattling, you are not alone. We checked with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office and they did not receive any calls about the quake, nor any calls about any damage. An acute reminder to protect your pets. The Phoenix Fire Department shared this video on social media. Oh, he loves those. You can see the department's search dog, Moxie, trying on a pair of shoes that are meant to protect her paw pads from the hot pavement. Something fire crews say all pet parents should be doing as we inch closer to summer. And if you know where to get two pairs of those things, let me know. I am a recent puppy papa. My dog needs some. I need to know where to get doggy shoes. And now you're up to speed. We want to circle back to tonight's big story. These are the protests happening in the Valley. Demonstrators are coming together in downtown Phoenix and downtown Gilbert. In fact, here in Phoenix, they just marched down Van Buren right past our studios. They've got the same goal in mind, too, and that's justice for George Floyd and anyone else who has died while in police custody. We're going to start with Team 12's Josh Sanders. He joins us live from downtown Phoenix. Josh, what are you seeing right now?
Well, Mitch, right now we've stopped at the intersection of Van Buren and 5th Street. We are at the front of the group, and right now what you're seeing, I'm going to move out of the way. Actually, guys, I'm going to lay down as well right now. This group is taking a long moment of silence, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I believe, to honor the memory of George Floyd, who earlier one of the leaders was saying that, you know, if you saw that horrifying video of officers in Minneapolis with one of them with his knee on George Floyd's neck, this is a moment of silence. This is a moment to honor his life. It's a moment also to think of, the speaker said, think of all of those black and brown people, African Americans that have lost their lives while in police custody. Very powerful moment right now. I'm going to stop talking and let our viewers just take this moment in.
Again, this is Josh Sanders, who is in downtown Phoenix right now. This is happening on Van Buren near 5th Street. What we're seeing, as Josh just explained, is a moment of silence in honor of George Floyd. The video that was posted that showed Floyd's death shows an officer who's now been charged in Minneapolis standing, or rather kneeling, on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. So these protesters here have decided to do the same. They are laying down for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And this is a call for unity across the country. There are folks doing this everywhere from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C., to cities in Texas, to Minneapolis, of course, out to Los Angeles, and as you can see, right here in Phoenix. Again, this is part of the peaceful protest movement. There were some protests that began. This is the 10th day of these protests in a row. So some of these protests Some of these protests had gotten out of hand earlier, but they are now peaceful. Again, this is happening in downtown Phoenix. We have some breaking news now, though. We've got a brush fire happening right now at Central Avenue and Thomas. So this is north of downtown. This is near the protests, but Central and Thomas, a brush fire. It looks like you do have some law enforcement on the scene. I don't, however, at this point. I'm just seeing this video for the first time as you are. I don't at this time see any fire department video or any fire department on hand right now. So I'm sure that they are on the way. Again, this is video of a brush fire that's happening right now. This is Sky 12 over this at Central Avenue and Thomas. It's a little bit north of where these protesters are downtown. They are on Van Buren and 5th Street right now. This is happening at Central and Thomas. So I don't want anyone out there to think that this is somehow related to the protest or that this is somehow some sort of looting or vandalism or destruction of property. We have no idea what caused this fire and smoke right now. What I can tell you, though, is you've got some Phoenix police that are on the scene right there at Central and Thomas, and I'm sure the fire department has to be on the way to try to put this thing out. Again, what you're seeing right now is a brush fire near downtown Phoenix at Central and Thomas. These are live pictures you're seeing right now from Sky 12. And we're going to move on from the brush fire now and back to the protest movement. Try to stay with us, folks. We've got Erica Stapleton, who is in Gilbert right now. And again, these are new protests that are popping up outside of downtown Phoenix, which is the largest incorporated city in Maricopa County. Now we're in Gilbert, which is a suburb of Phoenix. And Erica, what are you seeing out there in Gilbert?
Hey, Mitch, I want to point out that this is all just a big sense of community. We found out this protest is organized by Black Lives Matter Chandler. You can see they're talking right here. But we're in Gilbert, as you know. So, this is a merging of communities. And from what we've gathered talking to the folks out here today, they said, you know what, this is what we like to see. It's a diverse group of people, by our count, about a few hundred out here supporting one movement, using their voices, sharing their truths. So we've seen a lot of this, and I apologize because it's a little loud over here. We have the megaphone going right now. But one thing that he did point out earlier is he said the organizer right here with Black Lives Matter, Chandler, said that he had a conversation with Gilbert Police, and he said, thank you for having a plan in place to keep us safe out here today. We have seen some police officers going by on bicycles, but we have not seen any out here right in the middle of the group. No confrontation. So again, it's pretty loud over here right now. You can see people in the crowd raising their hands. And now these moments are after we actually saw, similarly to what you saw in downtown Phoenix, the folks here all took a knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's the amount of time a police officer's knee was on George Floyd's neck before he died. So again, that's a significant time, and that's really emotional for a lot of people here. We talked with a gentleman. I'll see if we can try and find him. He told us, he was so moved by this because watching that sort of thing unfold, he said, George Floyd could have been my father. He said it could have been my brother. So this really hits home to a lot of people, even though it was something that happened all the way out in Minneapolis. And as you can see, it sparked so much interest here and so much movement for people to kind of share their voice, demanding equality. And that's something we've been seeing. Look at all of these signs out here right now. So the plan at this point, we've been told, we started in the downtown area near where all the restaurants are and moved the way up Gilbert Road. We've stopped here. And you can see they're doing some sharing, doing some speeches at this point in time. But again, we're planning to stay here for the next little bit. There has been talk about potentially going to the police department. We're not sure if we're going to move all the way down the road there. We're at the point where we're at Warner Road and Gilbert Road. But the plan is to at least stay here for now and do some speeches. He's asking right now to see if other people would want to share their story. So we have a woman raising her hand right here. So again, this is an open space for a lot of people to share their truths, share their stories. That's what this whole thing is about, is to giving a voice to the voiceless. So want to make sure that folks out here are staying safe. That's what the organizers are saying. And again, it's been peaceful for the most part that we've seen. So again, no confrontations at this point in time, and I'll give these people a platform to speak. So I'm going to step back a little bit and I'll send it back to you guys for now. But again, just to wrap, we're calm out here and people are peaceful, using their voices. And again, no confrontations. Mitch.
All right, again, that's Erica Stapleton. She is in downtown Gilbert. Earlier, we had Josh Sanders, who was live in downtown Phoenix. And there's a brush fire that's burning near Central Avenue in Thomas. There is a lot going on right now, and we're going to have continued coverage of the nationwide protests and any local demonstrations tonight on 12 News at 10. You can also find the latest details on the 12 News app, and it is free to download if you haven't downloaded it already. And if you joined us online, we really appreciate it. Thank you for putting your trust in us. We'll see you over on Channel 12 tonight at 10.